I don't know, maybe a tough question, but like, did you think, not obviously not justified, but did you think it was understandable for the IRA to start targeting officers outside of the actual prison?
Um, for me, clearly not. Um, what is a justifiable target? Um, so I would condemn anyone that comes and kills anyone. So, as an example, a case that's well known is the Pat Finucane murder, which happened very, very close to where I live. Much the same consequence. People gone in, shot him in front of his family. Um, so I, at the time, would have condemned that 100%, just as I would condemn my own father's murder. But, and this is a big but, I don't actually blame the people that pulled the gun or shot because I think they're just cannon fodder. Um, it's much up higher up the tree where, if there is any blame, um, that's where it lies. But blame's a mug's game. If you are continually looking for someone to blame, what you're actually doing is slowly but surely disintegrating yourself because you'll get down to their level. So revenge was never ever something that I would have contemplated. Um, and I just think, and I still think to this day, shooting anybody for doing their job is just utter madness.
Related to what you said there towards the end, did you or could you maybe even years later view the people who actually pulled the trigger to be kind of like your father, in the sense that they don't decide the policy, they just enforce it? Was there any degree of
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. That's exactly it. I mean, a lot of people got involved in the Troubles for a whole series of different reasons, and Dan Lawton's book on Kevin Hart, was quite an interesting one in terms of how Kevin got involved, why he got involved, um, and those guys are just cannon fodder. Um, uh, they just get in above their head. Um, they've got to do things that maybe they don't really want to do. Um, and I feel sorry for them. I don't feel anything else. I don't feel bitter. I don't want recriminations. I don't even want people going to prison. But that's a personal view, and that's the other important thing to get across. Everybody has a different view, and I would only ever be talking about myself, not other people that have gone through similar experiences.
Of course, no, of course. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, this mentality that you have now, where you're not interested in revenge or anyone kind of going down for it, was this something that took years to get to in a place in your life?
No, 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 no. If someone had come to me the day after the murder and said, "Here's a gun. This is who did it. You can shoot them, and there's no consequence," I'd have said no. 100% would never have crossed my mind. Um, it's just self defeating. One killing leads to another killing that leads to another killing. Badness is badness. Wrongdoing is wrongdoing. Um, and somehow, some way, you've got to break the cycle, don't you? Otherwise, it's just self perpetuating.
Wow, even the day after, you would have been in that place in your head. Wow. Actually, I suppose the only other guest that I've spoken to kind of in a similar circumstance was Joe Berry, who of course her father, Anthony Berry, was killed in the 1984 Brighton bomb that was intended
Yeah.
to kill Margaret Thatcher. And she said something very similar. Like even the next day, she was kind of at a similar place in her mind regarding it that you were. Actually, on that note, I only ask because Joe Berry did it, but Joe Berry famously went and met Patrick McGee, and then has done like subsequent kind of speaking tours and so on. And he was the one who planted the bomb. And if that opportunity did arise, if you like knew like for a fact who it was, and it turns out they maybe wanted to speak to you, or just kind of
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, we did Teams. Dan Lawton set up a team session for me and Kevin Hart. So I talked to Kevin Hart over Teams, and that plus Dan's book sort of 90% convinced me that he wasn't the person that pulled the trigger. And I was hoping to meet him whenever I was over in the States last November, but he's refused. I think, well, not I think, I know I'm very disappointed in that, in the sense that I've helped him clear his name. And I think the least that he could have done was meet up. So that disappointed me. But he will have his own reasons, but he hasn't explained any of those to me.